This conference will now be recorded.
Good morning, everybody. Quick sound check. Can everybody hear me loud and clear? All right, today is Tuesday, September 11th, and I just want to have a moment of silence real quick. Everyone, obviously, this is a very important day in our history. Just for the people that have lost their lives in such a tragic event. I know, this point seems like a long time ago, but I still remember like it was yesterday. So just a quick moment of silence. All right, so let's get ready now for our morning. So I know that we had a pretty rough day yesterday. It looked pretty slow out there. Now it's just been, spent a little bit of time this morning going over things. And I mean, the one thing that I did see is that BABA is getting absolutely crushed. Holy crap. So we saw that huge amount of selling that was coming in at that 170 level, but I mean, we are, coming to that 155 from yesterday coming into the close, and now all the way down underneath that 153, and it's on some decent volume as well. I mean, I'm seeing a little bit of selling. I mean, some decent new selling coming in, not really too many controlling prints, but if we come over here and look at that 153.75 and 153.60, definitely some new bursts of that selling, and then we have one print at 153, one bid, one ask, so not a ton that's going on there. So I definitely want to see a little bit more coming in, some more selling coming in at this point. And then, you know what, 150 is a big number. It's going to start gravitating. It's going to act as a magnet and kind of bring it back down there. So BABA's number one on my list so far this morning. Now, I have a few other things that I'm looking at, and I'll get to AMD in a minute. But going over SSC, so my biggest problem with SSC is that actually my problem is over. Now, I was going to say that there wasn't enough new buying coming in at that 550 level, but we just got a pretty nice, pretty decent burst coming in. You can see the orders really aren't that thick. So that amount is definitely a difficulty of trade coming back in there. We would expect, a pullback from that 550 before we would see this thing continue. Now, 550 isn't as important as 5. So the fact that it broke over 5 and we're starting to get new buying coming in is showing us that it definitely has the ability to continue up and keep going. So really like that burst that I just saw coming in there. It's just going to be a matter of whether, whether we get follow through and more continued buying as we get to that higher price, which it looks like we're already going. But it's just going to be about that new buying. We know there's going to be selling coming in, especially on a cheaper stock like this. So the new buying is going to be key. And then TLRY, I was looking at coming into this morning. I really wish that we would have seen a little bit more buying coming in. It looks like so far coming up above that 90 level, we're getting selling. The reason that I was looking for new buying to come is because 100 is a very big psychological number. And if you get it all the way up to 90, most of the time what we end up seeing is we end up seeing them test that 100 number. But 100 is one of the biggest psychological levels that we'll ever see in a stock. Okay, we're going from double digits to triple digits. So far, don't see anything that shows us we're going to be able to get back up there. But as of right now, I wouldn't be shocked once the market opens to see some new buying coming in. 90, 90, 50. We're getting some selling coming in as we're coming up. And I'm not worried about this selling because it's really not that much. What I'm worried about is the fact that we're not getting that new buying. So as of this moment, I'm going to expect this to not be able to really break too much further and end up coming back down unless we see something different. And then let's talk about AMD. So AMD this morning coming in, and I hope it's going to let me go back. So we knew it had to break 30. We knew it was going to get to 30. 30 was our price target. But then we got some new buying that came in previously that showed us that we were going to be able to break past that 30, the amount of actual buying that we saw. But the one thing that coming in this morning based off the prints, as we came up to that 30 level, we didn't really get any type of controlling prints, which is a little bit shocking, to be completely honest. I didn't see what happened yesterday. Obviously, I was not here. If we come back over here, we did make a push towards that 30 into the close. Excuse me. And it's in the aftermarket, there wasn't really as much, but we do have a whole bunch of, you can see these numbers right here. Let me go back over here. So let's come back in, but you can see right here, we have a lot of prints that came in at 8, and it looks, I always think of the Lakers colors when we see things like this. Basically what this tells me is that there's a lot of people that were coming into the stock or getting out of the stock at that 30. Based off of what we've seen the previous weeks, I have to assume that most of these prints are going to be people getting into it, and we're still going to see some more room. But like I said, my biggest problem is that we just didn't really get new buying coming in at that 30 level itself. It kind of just jumped up past there. So really all we do have are those bid prints. I'm going to need to see more information, but once again, based off of everything that we saw from those past few weeks, I'm going to be expecting it to still have more room to run towards that upside. So let's take a look at our scanners. I know things were looking a little bit bleak this morning. I'm not really seeing a ton out there. So we have RENN, which it jumped up on really not much volume whatsoever, and we're going to see this thing start coming back down. I'm going to put it on our side list, but I don't really see too much of a possibility right now from what I've had, what the prints have shown us for this thing to really have any type of ability to get back to that 250 and push. We're going to need some type of new information. Moving over, we have IZEA, 697,000 shares, jumped up yesterday in the aftermarket, but today another one. I just don't really see anything there that I really care too much about. I mean, the prints themselves, it's just very mixed, doesn't really give us any type of show of hand. It's another one that I am going to put on our side list because I am going to keep an eye on it just based off of the pattern that it's sitting in right now. If we look over here, it's a very bullish consolidation, especially the fact that it was holding on basically no volume. So it certainly has opportunity to go, but it doesn't show us anything that really, that really says, okay, we're going to be able to break past 250 and make any type of run. Moving over to IVTY, 1.8 million shares, but 5-cent spread. Looks like some type of buyout or something like that. I have no interest in it whatsoever. SSC, we've already spoken about, and once again, it's just going to be about getting new buying as we get to these higher prices. We know we did get our buying at 550, but that's only going to give us expectations on a cheaper stock like this being able to move about 25 cents. IDTI 5.7, but another one just not. It looks like another one that's a buyout or some type of something of that nature, just stuck at that print line, not doing any type of real trading. And then TLRY we've already spoken about. Moving over to the loser side of things, the list is pretty much almost the same. There's just not really, not too much that jumps out and really gets me excited. So FRAN, absolutely nothing going on there. USAT, we have 194,000 shares, but another 5-cent spread and just nothing really going on whatsoever. Now, SONO, I was looking at this earlier, but my biggest thing with this is I just never saw anything this morning that really gave me any real indication of where I'm going to be expecting it to go. Obviously, we are on a downtrend. Yesterday in the aftermarket, we can see it took a bit of, pretty big hit, 2150 all the way down to 1750 this morning. But one thing that we're looking at, we did get the best volume that we've gotten this morning so far was a push towards that 18 level, towards that upside, but there was just no real prints that came in at the 18. So it's another one that doesn't really show us much, any real show of hand of where it's going to be going, but we are going to put this on our list because of the fact that our list is pretty small this morning based off of what we have going on in the pre-market. And it's got opportunity. It's definitely got opportunity to move. We could see the range that it usually trades hasn't came in yet because of the fact that it's a fairly new stock. But yesterday moved $2.02, and based off what we see in the pre-market, we're going to get a real nice range today. It's just a matter of giving us some type of show of hand and showing us where it's going to be going. YUMC, not really much going on whatsoever. I mean, it's got a big move. It's got a big movement, but not too much going on whatsoever. But the one thing that I do like though is these prints at 32. So coming in at that 32 level, that's a really nice burst, especially when the orders are so thin. There's definitely a big difficulty of trade that went into that selling at that 32 level. So certainly going to be expecting this one to continue on this downtrend. After a bit of a pull up from these prints that we have at 32, expecting a pretty big move coming into this morning. And once again, the range is, it's already moved over $1 on average. It trades $1.16. So you're going to be expecting a bigger range and a bigger move towards that downside underneath the 32 level. FRED, 264,000 shares, absolutely nothing there. PBR, 147, but another one, just no real trading going on. And then MT, 1.2, but just nothing for us to do anything with. Hold on. It was YUMC, yes, YUMC. Let's take a look. Microsoft, let's see, MSFT. What's happening in Cron? I'll look at Cron in a second. Microsoft, absolutely nothing going on this morning. There's 273,000 shares. There's definitely trading in there, but a lot of it is probably because of this 228,000 shares that came back in. Looking at Cron, I didn't see anything this morning that really gave me any type of interest, to be honest. Overall, I'm certainly going to be paying attention to it because, if the amount of buying that we have, once it breaks out of this consolidation, we really should see that big move come into it. But as of right this second, just not really much there for us. You can see coming at 12, one bid print, that's not really going to show us any type of control of what's going to be happening once the market opens. So just not really much there so far. All right, so a few announcements. First of all, remember Traders Exchange today. Today is Tuesday, so at 12:30, we will be doing our weekly Traders Exchange. And the more exciting thing is classes. Classes will begin this morning at 10 a.m. So if you are not already enrolled, it is not too late to get in, but I will be sending out the link shortly after I finish up here with our meeting. For our first class, I spent a long time yesterday setting up kind of a I don't know if I'd say syllabus, but kind of putting out exactly the structure of how we're going to be going about this. And by far, I guarantee these are going to be the best ones that so far up to this date. And like I know I said this in the chat room yesterday, but there's never been a bad class. It's just we're going to be structuring things a little bit different and working on the important puzzle pieces on how to really get your training to where it needs to be. All right. So anything else out there that I missed? Nothing. All right, guys. So I will send that link out for those of you that are in, and I will talk to everyone else in the chat room. Happy trading.